sex is not what I expected. And romance novels have misled us to think that sex is the most wonderful thing on earth. And it can be quite a frustrating thing when you realize that reality is not the case. So how do you manage expectations when it comes to sex? When sex is not quite what is depicted in romance novels. Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. And I'm certainly guilty of that. I read romance novels growing up, just like many of my girlfriends, and I would fantasize about what sex would be like. And I would have to say that my first few sexual experiences were positive ones. Maybe not quite the same as romance novels, and yet it's definitely not quite the same as romance novels. So when I realized that it wasn't the same as romance novels, I realized that there was this disparity between romance novels and reality, and there is a certain amount of grief that needs to take place. The grief of what is not to be. Not to be, not going to happen, not ever going to happen. So there is that disappointment that can be there. And once you have that, realize that you're not alone. I felt it, I processed it, and I realized that I asked myself, what was I thinking? What was I expecting? And then it dawned on me that, yeah, it wasn't what I had thought it would be. It wasn't what I fantasized it would be. And I had to deal with the fact that it was different. I had to grieve about it and then let it go. Accept it and let it go. Once I'm able to let go that this was not what I had thought it would be, then I was in a better position to really see it for what it is. So at first you might go, don't like it. This is not what I thought it would be. And then you kind of like get curious, and then you might look at it, and then you might try to understand it, and then you might accept it. And then after that, you might want to play with it and then see if you can make it better. So I found that the first couple of times that I had sex, even though it was pretty awesome, it could have been better. And so I learned over time that life is what we make out of it. Life is what we make out of it, and our sex life is what we make out of it. And so I took small baby steps to help myself have more positive sexual experiences by learning how to speak up, by learning how to get feedback and find out what's going on with my partner, and find different ways to communicate. And that's how sex became better for me. So I'm sharing this because I want you to know that it is not the same, and much as we say it, sometimes there is that bubble that is broken, and that's perfectly normal. That's part of growing up. And we can say we wish we knew better, but we didn't. And so being able to fully look at it, accept it, embrace it, and then find ways to make things better is all part of being a mature adult. So I know maybe I'm not making you feel much better, but I hope that this little sharing helps you realize that you are not alone in that, and that it's just something that we all have to deal with. Just like being an adult, we probably have all kinds of fantasies growing up as a little child, what it's like to be an adult, and it's probably quite different from what we had thought it would be. First of all, the world that we are in now is so different, and we could not have imagined this is what being an adult would be. So same thing, amount of grieving, looking at it, accepting it, and then making the best of it. So this is Martha of Eros Coaching, sharing with you what I thought, and feel free to leave a comment, ask me a question. You can contact me at ask@eroscoaching.com.